The Bank of England is considering steeper interest rates to reduce fears that inflation could soar to 15%.
Well, some economists have said this may lead to a property crash. Kunle Barker joins us now. He's a property expert to talk about these predictions. And Kunle, this is the big worry that a lot of people have, but inflation has got to be kept in check. What do you think?
I think interest rate rises are a blunt tool, normally used to keep interest rates under control. The slight issue is that it's quite unique at the moment because the real drivers for inflation at the moment are to do with things that haven't happened before. So they're to do with Brexit, they're to do with COVID, they're to do with the war in Ukraine. All of these things are adding household costs to everybody's budgets. Now, the problem is that interest rates just increase that. So the real problem is about affordability. Is will people be able to afford mortgages? Will they pass tests to be able to actually get a mortgage? And actually, the real problem, the one that's really concerning, is will they be able to afford to actually heat their homes, feed themselves, and actually pay those mortgages?
Yeah. The thing is, all those dynamics you talked about there, the pandemic, the war in Ukraine, there is so much chatter about a looming crash in the housing market, and none of those monumental shifts to our society have yet created it. So is one on the horizon?
It may well have already happened, because a lot of mortgage offers last for almost 6 months now. So there could be the people now buying houses who probably passed affordability checks back at the beginning of the year. So we won't see a dip off in demand, which is what...
Because they've got low interest rate mortgages.
Correct. So they passed the affordability test. Because right now, with interest rates going up and and fuel costs and cost of living going up, that affects your affordability. So lots of people now, today, probably won't be able to afford certainly the mortgage they wanted to, that they could have afforded back in February.
But I mean, if I was in the housing market now, my big worry would be buying at the top of the market and then a crash happening, and if so, what size of a crash happening come the new year?
That's difficult, and unfortunately that's what I can't tell you, how big the crash will be. I predict certainly a slowdown in the market, maybe a slight normalisation. Perversely, some people might think that's what we need because, the house prices are out of control at the moment.
One of the biggest problems is lack of stock.
Correct. And that's also, which may help abate a serious crash, because it's all about demand. So the demand will always be high in the UK for homes because we don't have enough stock. So there's all these factors all reacting with each other, but it's quite a unique circumstance. So it's very difficult to say exactly what will happen, but there will certainly be a slowdown.
So you'd have to be brave to get involved in the housing market at the moment. You'd also have to know that your job was secure, that you've got a certain amount of financial muscle.
Yeah, I think be sensible. Make sure you're not overpaying. Property...
Of course you're overpaying.
Well,
when are you underpaying?
Well, make sure you're paying a fair price, a price that's right for that house. Because, historically, over a long enough time period, property is a great investment, one of the safest investments out there. So, but you make a good point about buying at the top of the market. Nobody really wants to do that. So just make sure it's what you can afford. Make sure you're paying the right price for your home, and over a long enough period, you should be okay.
Kunle Barker, thank you very much indeed for your take on things. Kunle's a property expert, and that's his take. Your views very much welcome and appreciated. GBviews at gbnews.uk. You can tweet at GBnews.